Okay. Now, let's see. Try to explain some of the differences between what the diets are. Now, granted, you could definitely say they're kind of all in the same genre. None of them are vegetarian, although I've heard people say you can try to eat vegetarian. If you're vegan, I think you can forget it. But ketogenic, which is what I'm on, I think it's kind of interchangeable with low carb, high fat, which is what it is. It is 75% fat of your calories come from fat. You have 20% comes from protein, and then you have 5% comes from carbohydrates. Now, the only carbohydrates you should be having are vegetables, say like broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, those kind of things. You almost salads. You almost live off cauliflower. You can do a lot of amazing things with cauliflower. But another key to it, in a way, before I get into that, it kind of is like paleo, except for paleo, you get to eat like fruit, but you don't get to eat cheese, if I recall correctly, because paleo is supposed to be what we ate originally. When we started out as a species, 300,000 years ago. Because agriculture has only been around for, 10,000 years, somewhere in that area. I could be wrong on that. I might have to look it up, but I'm going to say around 10,000 years. And if you look at the human species, just as Homo sapiens, we've only been around for, 300,000 years. I think they found some fossils or something and dated them like that. But, of course, I guess man, I guess proto-man or whatever, if you go back, is more like around 2.5 million years, but is Homo sapien around 300,000. But during that time, what we ate was meat. Okay, that's what helped our brains grow. The protein, the extra protein we got, we discovered fire, I guess, and started cooking food, which allowed us to condense the nutrients, so our guts didn't have to be quite so big, like you might see in gorillas or whatnot. But you'll forgive me if I'm not, history buff or whatever. But I'll leave a list of books for you to read, and maybe you might glean something I missed. But this is what I've gotten out of it. Paleo, you try to eat like man was meant to eat. Okay, and as close to the original form as possible. Now, keto will allow you to have cheese, cheeses, milk. Milk, cream. Let's not say milk, cream. Don't drink milk, because usually that has a lot more carbs, as well as the lactose, which is milk sugar. So I stay away from milk myself, and I stick with like heavy whipping cream, which is all fat. Butter, another good fat source. Let's see, what else? You make everything fresh, okay? You don't go out and buy pre-made foods, because 75-80% of everything on the store shelves is got sugar in it of some type. And from my understanding, there's 56 names for sugar. Fructose, corn syrup, cane sugar. You got all kinds of names just for sugar that they try to hide things, disguise what it is. And you just kind of got to look at the label and be careful. But the best thing of all is just to get the basic items and make your food at home. I'd say 95% of what we do, we make from scratch. If we make some kind of ketogenic bread, which does not have any flour, we don't eat flour, we don't eat any grains in this house, and we stay away from starches like potatoes and such, or no wheat, no rice, no corn. Those are all big no-nos. Sugar is right at the top. But there are ways of making something that's kind of like a bread, using almond flour or coconut flour, so you can get around stuff. You can make some stuff that will remind you. Make a nice burger. And I'm just glad we can eat cheese on this, because I happen to love cheese a lot, and it's a good fat source. Believe it or not, one of the hardest things on it is to get fat. But let me go ahead. I'm digressing. I'm supposed to be sitting here telling you the difference. Atkins, well, forget it. Atkins is basically only worried about how many carbs you eat. And I think 50, they want you to stay, less than 50. And they don't care if it's pre-packaged or what. There's no rhyme or reason. And they don't have any specifications about how much you should eat. The thing is like if you eat too much protein, your protein will convert to sugar. Okay, your body will just convert it into a sugar. So you're kind of defeating the purpose if you eat too much. So that's why you want to go 75% fat, 20% protein, 5 carb. Okay. Let's see. What else? Let me make sure I haven't left anything out. Well, we went through low carb, high fat, which is essentially the same thing as ketogenic. It's called a ketogenic diet because, well, your goal is to get your body to start burning your fat stores. And though your fat stores are released as ketones, okay? Now, some people say, oh my gosh, that's got to be bad for you. It's not. Ketones are not bad for you. They're thinking of ketoacidosis, okay? That is bad for you. But the ketones, that's something your body was meant to use. You can get the pea strips at Walmart, I think for around $5 or so, and you can check it, check your pea, see how dark it is, on the strip, match it up, find out how you're doing. But the goal is to get into ketosis, okay? And you want to live in that state. But the tough thing about it is that for the first couple weeks, you're gonna feel you might feel sick as a dog. It could take longer than a couple weeks. It could take as long as a month or more. But switching from eating sugar, or starches as a food source to go into keto is hard. And once you do it, you'll feel fine. Your brain will clear up. You won't be so foggy. You'll be able to. You'll just feel better. I don't sleep as much. I used to sleep a lot. Now I don't sleep as much anymore. I notice that now I feel like I want to do stuff instead of having to make myself do stuff. I don't feel the need to lollygag around. But of course, this is just my experience. I'm sitting here telling you all this stuff. Now, I do believe this. Everybody is different. Not everybody is. I don't know that everybody's going to experience the same thing. I do believe that this is what we're meant to eat, the way we were meant to eat. But some people can get away with it. I mean, who knows how long it takes for us to evolve? Or have we evolved far? Have we went far enough along to be able to sustain ourselves with eating starches and things like that? Not looking at the statistics for diabetics in the nation right now, the fact that we've grown so much, we've gotten so fat over the years. So I would say no. But there's some people that obviously they're all right. But there's a thing called TOFI, which is thin on the outside, fat on the inside, where people's vitals are, their organs have fat all inside of the side of them. Pardon me. But it's all a part of, I guess, what's called a metabolic syndrome, and it can catch up with you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and extol all the health virtues of a ketogenic diet aside from weight loss, because I know that works. I've been doing it myself, and I'm proof that it works as far as just losing weight. But you know, I suggest that you watch videos, read books on it. There's all kinds of health benefits to doing a ketogenic diet aside from just losing weight. You know, there's things that I never thought about. And doing the ketogenic diet the way I'm doing it now is definitely different than I've ever done a diet in the past. So I think I'm better close this video out here, because I feel myself getting pulled where I want to just talk about things, and I end up going down a rabbit hole, and nobody's ever happy when that happens, least of all me. I'll see you in the next video.